YouTube, new box review. Here we go. We're going to go through this really quick. And yeah, I'll discuss what I feel about the box. Okay. Arc Rebellion is a brand new card. This card you're going to make with Raiders Night. Basically, this succeeds summon card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, you can detach one material from this card. Gains attack equal to the total original attack of all monsters on the field. Then, if this card has a Dark Exceed material, negate all other effects of face-up monsters in the field. You cannot declare attacks with other monsters except for the rest of its turn, except for Arc Rebellion. So really, really good. So if they have like 2 monsters on the field, it will gain the attack of all the monsters in the field. So if they have like double construct, it'll gain 5,600 attack, go up to 86, and then easy OTK. So this card could be dropped in like Shadows, Phantom Knights, Raptor. Really, really good. This card OTK'd the heck out of everyone in Master Duel, and it's still really, really good. And you're going to summon this with Raiders Night. It takes 2 level 4 Dark Monsters, detach 1 material, special summon 1 Raid Raptor, Phantom Knights, or Exceed Dragon Exceed monster that has 1 rank higher or lower than this card by using this card as face-up material. So basically, in Phantom Knights, if you destroy any 2 monsters off Breaksword, they come back as 4s. Easy raise Raiders Night and into your Arc Rebellion. You can also make it in Phantom Knights by using like your Torn Scales. I mean, not your Torn Scales, your Stained Grease plus summoning back like a Fragile Armor. That's another way to get it out. I'm really excited for Phantom Knights. And you can make this in Raid Raptors with any 2 level 4s. You could summon this in Shadows with 2 level 4 darts. Altergeist Memory Gan is the link for 2 Altergeist monsters. During the battle phase, quick effect, you tribute 1 other monster. The card gains attack equal to that tributed monster's attack on the field. When this card destroys a monster in battle, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, and if you do, this card can make a 2nd attack in a row. If this card would be destroyed, you can banish 1 monster instead. It's a really good finisher for Altergeist, really good to OTK with. I think this and Pukari will boost it up significantly, maybe to our top tier or very high-end rogue, one or the other. Crimson, give me more of a review on that. You are the Altergeist GOAT. Alright, Perform Mage Damage Juggler. Now, Damage Juggler is a card that was very impactful during Arc V meta. I played this during Clown Blade meta and also during Shadow meta. So basically what this card does is it's almost like a mini Kiteroid. When you would take damage by battle or card effect, you discard it to the graveyard and reduce that damage to 0. Then you can banish this from the graveyard to add 1 Perform Mage monster from your deck to your hand. So this can prevent lethal and also allow you to search out your Trick Clown, Hat Tricker, which we're getting, which can special summon itself to the field easily. And also, yeah, so this card is really, really good. I think this has a really good chance to be really good in Shadow as well, because they played it a lot in the past. Kind of like Clown Dolls. It's a really, really good hybrid of the deck. And I'll discuss the next card I'm going to go over. I think it's going to be excellent in Shadows, but they might play this too. Perform Mage Trick Clown is really, really strong in Shadows and in the Dentist skill. So basically what Perform Mage Trick Clown does is, if this is sent to the graveyard, you target 1 Perform Mage monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and its attack and defense becomes 0 and take 500 damage. Now what's really good about this basically is a 1 card Exceed off of Shadow Fusion. This card is going to make Shadow Fusion really, really broken. Excuse me. The reason why is if you activate Shadow Fusion, instead of sending something like a Rillion to the graveyard, you send this to the graveyard alongside your Wendy, and then Wendy could summon in face-up defense, and then you could summon out your Trick Clown, and then you could threaten like a rank 4, so like going Dweller in the mirror is really broken, or even sending, let's say you send out Wendy and you set the monster, then you flip it up with Dragon, and then you can bounce their monster, then make it like a Dweller in the mirror, which is really, really broken. Or you can even make like so this gives Shadow a really impactful turn 2 Dweller, and also allows them to send Dragon to the graveyard as well. So like, I mean not Dragon, you could also flip Dragon up to bounce a back row or a monster as well, as I discussed before. Anyway, really, really good. It allows them to make Excite on Night really easily too, and then that puts a light in the graveyard for Schism. Really, really broken. This card is insane. What I think also makes this card insane on top of it is that afterwards you can even do things like you can add back that Shadow Fusion for follow-up and then do a lot of other crazy things on top of it. Really, really crazy. Really, really good. Just insane. I think this card's going to be very nasty in Shadows for sure. And in its own deck, I think it'd be good. But I think very nasty in Shadalls. Ray Raptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid. This card is great because this is going to allow you to, with the new Ray Raptor skill, allow you to special summon itself on the opponent's turn and then pop a monster. Also, when this thing dies, you can float into Revolution Falcon, which will allow you to attack all your opponent's monsters, reduce them to 0, and then OTK them to drop them at. I am very excited to play both Ray Raptor and Prank Kids. I mean, Ray Raptor and Phantom Knights. Prank Kids, I think, are a little bit lacking. Alright, Prank Kids plays. When this card is activated, you can add one Prank Kids monster from your deck to your hand. Now, activating the field spell is a hard once per turn, but both of these second and third effect aren't. So, for example, if you fusion summon a Prank Kids monster or link summon it, you get the following effects. If you fusion summon a Prank Kids monster, all monsters you control, all of your monsters will gain 500 attack. But if you link summon a Prank Kids monster, all your opponent's monsters will lose 500 attack. Now, you're probably saying, yeah, but you can only activate one field spell per turn, so it is once per turn. Normally, yes, but if Prank Kids places on your field, let's say, during turn 3, and you want to activate another one, well, you can use the first one's effect on field to increase, let's say, you fusion summon, increase it by 500, then activate another place, then fusion summon again, and then gain that second effect. Again, to gain 500, so you end up gaining 1,000, so that's really, really good. Next, we have Pranks. Pranks is kind of like an extender, starter, / Noble Knights Brothers in Duel Links for Prank Kids. It's basically, you discard one Prank Kids card, special summon a token to your field, and it cannot, and then if you summon another Prank Kid, that allows you to make do right off the bat, and then go into your full combo. I will teach you all the combo on stream, do not worry about it. I will also link my Master Duel video here, so if you want to learn the combo, just click on that, and that will teach you the basic combo. Or for the most part, you want to pay attention to the one with Rocket Ride, more or less. That's the one you want to pay attention to. But if you don't understand that video, I will teach you everything on stream, so don't even worry about it. But Pranks basically special summons a token, which allows your normal Prank Kid to go into your do, and then start comboing off like that. Also, the second effect of the card, during the end phase, you shuffle 3 Prank Kids into your deck, draw a card. So make sure you also have a Fansies, Lampsies, and Dropsies access while you do this to make sure you go into your Butler at that point. Pookery allows you to, if an Altergeist monster would use this link material, you can use this from your hand instead. And once per turn, if an Altergeist link monster is summoned to your field while this card's in your graveyard, you can add this to your hand. Now, Crimson, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but please, you're the expert. But you can add Pookery back when you link summon it immediately. So if you use Pookery immediately, it can add itself back. Crimson, please correct me on this. Don't let Sean be a complete fool. Phantom Knights of Torn Scales. This card is the most broken Phantom Knight card in the archetype. Outside of like Rusty Bardiche. This card is absolutely incredible. By itself, it's a starter. On summon, you discard a Phantom Knight to send one Phantom Knight's card to the graveyard. So you can send any Phantom Knight card. Not on summon, I should say, while on the field. You can do that. Now, most of the time as a starter, you won't need to because you're going to discard this to send your Cloak to the graveyard with the new skill, which is going to allow you to banish Cloak, resummon your Torn Scales. But I'll go over the second effect. So basically, while this card's in your graveyard, when a Phantom Knight card is banished, you can special summon this card. So this is Phantom Knight's card. So even if you banish like a Wings, Fog Blade, or you banish something like a Sword, you could still use the effect, which is absolutely insane. And then special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Again, if it's attached as Exceed material, it will never leave the field. Because being as an Exceed monster, material is not on the field. So keep that in mind. So if you make like a Break Sword, this thing will go back to the graveyard. This card is absolutely cracked. You can only use each effect of Scales once per turn. So, yeah. Really, really broken. Definitely it's going to be a limit 3 when it comes out for a reason. I want to get 3 of these. Phantom Knights rank up Magic Force. This card is really, really good. During the main phase, banish 1 or more Dark monsters from your graveyard. Then target 1 Dark Exceed monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Phantom Knights. Ray Raptor or Exceed Dragon Exceed monster's rank equals the targeted monster you control plus 1. The number of monsters banished using its material. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Exceed monsters. This is treated as Exceed summon. Transfer the monsters to the Exceed monsters to the summon monster. So basically, let's say you want to summon Requiem. Requiem is a rank 5. So if you use Rebellion, you would banish 1 monster in your graveyard. So it would be 4 plus 1, give you the rank 5 to make a Requiem. So you get the idea. So it's whatever the rank is, plus that many monsters you need to banish to increase the rank to whatever you want to summon. So, like I said, for Requiem, it's 4 plus the banished 1, which will give you 5, which will give you rank 5. So this card is very, very good for rank Phantom Knights. Again, with Phantom Knights, again, you can't use the old rank up for the new skill because it's not like Trees and Phantom. You're not going to detach the materials off to have no materials on it. But I see Phantom Knights being top tier. Fable Marcosia, not sure on Fables. I want to see what they do before I invest into them, but I may definitely want to try them out. As cards in your hand, you can discard up to 2 monsters except Marcosia, but including another Fabled. And if you do, special summon this card. If summoned this way, this card gains 200 attack for each monster discarded. If this card is discarded to the graveyard, add 1 spell or trap, Fabled spell or trap in your hand. You can only use each effect of Marcosia once per turn. And then Excite on Night, we already have. I own 3 of it. I'm not looking for any more. Yeah. I want to go over the Prank Kids cards specifically and the Phantom Knight cards, and then we'll kind of call it a review at that point, because I don't think there's too much else to review. Maybe a few of the Fable cards. So, Prank Kids Battle Butler. Battle Butler takes Lampsies, Dropsies, and Fansies. It must be fusion summoned. Quick effect, you contribute 1 this card to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. If this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, you can target 1 non-fusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, this basically is like Machina Citadel. You tribute the monster, blow it up on the field, blow up your opponent's board, and then if they destroy this with like a Dark Roll or anything, you can float into any monster in your graveyard. That's not a fusion. Yes, if you made like a Borlo Dragon, you can float into that. If you made an Amblo Whale, you can float into that. So you can float into anything, and that's not a fusion. But what's also really good about this card, now, if we have Meow Moo, which we don't, and it doesn't, Prank Kids don't necessarily need Meow to be good. They could have like a skill that just adds poly to the hand, and it would still be much better because then everything would be a 2-card combo. But basically, if you have Meow Moo, this would be, you would be able to use the effect twice, which is one of the things they don't want you to do. That's why they're being very careful about introducing Prank Kids into the game. But yeah. Yeah, but that's what that does. Doodle Doodle Doo, on summon, adds 1 Prank Kid spell or trap to your hand. Also, you contribute this to add 2 Prank Kids cards from your graveyard to your hand. Any Prank Kids cards. The one thing you generally do with the combo is you'll use Fansies to send 1 of your spell or traps. That generally being your Pandemonium, unless you see a Crow. And then you will add, like, your, you can add your, Pranks from your deck to your hand. I couldn't get it out for some reason, but yeah. That's generally what you do. And then at the end of the combo, you would tribute your Doodle Doo, add back your Pranks, or if you have Pranks in hand, add back your Pandemonium for your next turn to make your Battle Butler. And then add back another Prank Kid so you can use your Pranks, discard a token, summon another one to make your Bow Wow bark. And then your Butler can't be destroyed on your opponent's turn. Keep that in mind. Raider's Unbreakable Mind. This card we're getting with the skill already. This card is fantastic. Basically, you set this on turn 2 for free, and you get a pop on the field with Break Sword, which you don't have to normal summon for, which is absolutely cracked in my opinion. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you get to set a rank up spell or trap from your deck to your hand, deck or graveyard to your field. Really, really good. Raid Raptors, Phantom Knight's Claw. This card is fantastic. This card you search off your boots or cloak because it's a Phantom Knight's card. And then this card can search, this card can be a monster negate instantly. So if you use this card and your opponent activates a monster effect, just negate it. Very good. Any detached material alpha dark exceed monster. So if you have like a Requiem Dragon and they want to activate their monster effect, their Terratop, or they want to activate their Squire, you can negate it, or their Spectral Sword, or whatever they want to activate. It doesn't matter. They can negate it. Now again, with a card like this being in the meta, chain blocking is going to be the utmost importance. So if you want to play Shadol and you're going second, you got to make sure you chain block your construct to be Link 1 so they don't destroy it. So really, really good stuff. This card is fantastic turn 1 card for Phantom Knights. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much the Phantom Knight stuff. I do want to go over a few of the Fable cards. Groza, the Tyrant of Thunder, is actually a really, really good monster. So basically, during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, target 1 effect monster to the field, discard 1 card. If you do, negate that monster's effect until the end of the turn. So this could be really good just to negate a monster. But if you discard a fiend monster, you can apply one of the effects. You can either make it not be able to be destroyed by battle, untargetable, or cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So basically, depending on the situation, you can do one or the other. This card is actually really, really interesting. I think it's actually has a chance to be nice. Then we have Fable Andai. This card I don't think is that great because Because the problem is if you go up and get something like Shadow or Phantom Knight, something that wants things in the graveyard, then this is like allows your opponent to negate your effect. So basically this special summon, your opponent can discard 1 card to negate this effect. Otherwise, draw 2 cards that discard 1 card. The problem is, if your opponent negates this, then by pitching like a Wendy, this will send for the card effect, and then they'll be able to use their Wendy to float into like a dragon or something out of the deck, or even like a Hedgehog to get Shadow Fusion, which allows your opponent to start at plays, which I don't think is great. And yeah, then I feel like you lose a lot of value on that. I feel like you're going to play Raijin instead, but we'll see. Also, if monsters sent from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, you can target one of those monster specials with the field, but negate the effects. So you could summon their Wendy, but like I don't know if you're really going to be able to use that effect effectively, because it kind of relies on whatever your opponent's playing to be effective for your strategy. So I don't know if that effect is really going to come up too much. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. Oh, yeah, there's a few more prank kits that we want to go over. So Lampsies, Dropsies, Fansies, basically how the prank kits work is if they're sent for Link materials a prank kit or Fusion materials a prank kit, you get to summon another prank kit with a different name from your deck and then apply the effect of that prank kit. So Lampsies burns your opponent for 250, not 500, this isn't full TCG. Dropsies gives you 1,000 life, and Fansies will send any prank kit from your deck to your graveyard. Basically a Foolish Burial. Rocket Rye is your Fusion. Basically, this will allow you to tribute it to bring back any 2 non-fusion prank kits monsters from your graveyard. So basically, you could summon Doodle Doodle Doo, or your you could summon your Doodle Doo or your Bow Wow Bark from the graveyard. Also, this effect is a hard once per turn and locks you into prank kits, so be very careful. So does Pandemonium. Okay, so be very, very careful. Oh no, this doesn't lock you into prank kits, excuse me. Only Pandemonium does. Not Rocket Ride. Rocket Ride does not lock you into prank kits. Bow Wow Bark is really, really good. This card allows you to, on your opponent's turn, tribute to add 2 prank kits back from your graveyard to your hand. Essential in the combo. Also, it makes for the rest of the turn, any prank kits monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. It does not need to be currently, so you can use it to battle Butler afterwards and still gain that effect. On top of that, we have prank kits plan. This card's not that great. It allows you to quick effect link summon your opponent's turn into a prank kit, but it's not overall, it's not that strong. And then you can match this card, shuffle it, many prank kits into your graveyard, into your deck, and then the attacking monster loses 100 for each shuffled. Again, like I said, not really that great. But the one other card I want to go over is Amazement Traction Drill Train. This card is a buff to Amazements. I don't think enough of a buff, but it's a really good buff. It basically is a Farfa for them. And it allows you to, while equipped to an opponent's monster, banish that monster. So that's really good for Amazements. They also got Delta, which allows you to send an attraction card, hand or face up to the field to the grave to set an attraction card in your spell and trap zone. So this is pretty decent. This could also extend, so it's kind of nice for them. Is it enough to make the meta? I don't know, but it's definitely a buff for sure. Ooh. And there's one other card I want to go over that I didn't go over. I just saw it now. And it's the Fabled Field Spell. So this card's new. Stairway to a Fabled Realm. So when this card is activated, you send 1 Fable monster from your deck to your graveyard. You can target that Fable monster in your graveyard, discard 2 cards, and add it to your hand. If a Fable monster attacks an opponent's monster, your monster gains 200 attack during the damage calc only. You can only activate 1 Stairway to a Fabled Realm once per turn. So, yeah. Interesting. Okay, which can be searched off the card that gets you your Fabled searches, like Spell Trap searches. Okay, so what do I think of this box? I think this box is pretty solid. I think that Phantom Knights and Ray Raptor have the best shot at being top tier. I think Shadows get even stronger, honestly. I think Shadows solidify themselves as the best deck with Trick Clown, because I think Trick Clown is very scary going second, because that makes Shadow Fusion become an Exceed as well. So now Shadow Fusion essentially becomes not only a construct, but a 1-card Exceed summon if they want to. So that's kind of frightening. A 1-card rank 4 for them to have. They can't go directly at the Raiders Night with it, but they can go into other things like Trapeze Magician, which we're getting, Dweller in the Mirror, and they can also make like Excite on Night to blow up back row going second. So there's a lot of things that they can do, and that gives them another light in the grave. So we'll see. But yeah, I give this box a solid 7, 8 out of 10. I think Phantom Knight is really good, honestly. I think that Ray Raptor is also good. I think that Shadow is going to get stronger. But yeah, Renkids, I don't think are going to be meta. I think they're lacking a bit. They need a skill or or a meow, which I don't think they're going to get immediately. But yeah, until next time, this is your boy Sean Matrai signing out. Peace. Bye, YouTube.